All praises to the Most High, to our Elohim, our Father, our Mother, our Brother. All praises to the Most High, our celestial, our terrestrial, our ancestors, the saints of old, the saints of new. All praises to our Elohim, the Mishpachah, all those who are cleaving, or rather who shall cleave. All praises to the Most High. Now, so really quickly, I was listening to Brother Judah, and it's an older video of his, I think a year or 2 or 3 ago. And what dawned on me, what I received in the spirit was the age of discovery. And I know we know all this. We know all the age of discovery. But I correlated that with the cycles. The cycles stay the same. So during their age of discovery, they had an opportunity to do the right thing. And of course, we know now and then that they didn't. That they did not. That matter of fact, they could not. Because their prophecy was a testimony against them for the end of their time, their rule. So I went, all praise to the Most High, I went and asked, I asked AI, what was the purpose of the age of discovery? And see, this is the rudimentary things that we, as the remnant within the remnant, are given to ask the question to obtain information, knowledge, and wisdom. Because the correlation of then to now is the fact that the end shall be the beginning. Right? So if the end is the beginning was the end. So in this cycle of the age of discovery, and it's important. So they utilized the Holy Spirit via Columbus to go all around the earth and discover us, find other things, obtain other goods and services. Yet the Holy Spirit, the Ruach, left them because their intent was wicked. So the age of discovery, they say 15th through 17th centuries, right? 1492, 1500s, might as well. Through the 1700s, 1776, right? Was primarily driven by the European quest for direct, faster, now this is the lie, direct, faster maritime trade routes to Asia to bypass Ottoman-controlled land routes for valuable spices and silks. Driven by economic profit, imperial competition, and religious expansion. This era led to the colonization of new lands, the expansion of global capitalism, and the rise of what they're calling the transatlantic slave trade, which we know as the Trans-Pacific slave trade. It goes on, key motivations, economic interest, seeking new sources of gold, silver, and spices to improve what? The European economies. Trade route expansion, finding sea routes around what? Africa and across the Atlantic to Asia. Why not just go out the Red Sea, the Indian Ocean, to the Pacific Ocean? Isn't that what you did? Manila to Acapulco? Come on, man. Stop lying on us. Stop lying to us. Stop lying to yourself. However, imperialism, claiming new territories to expand the power of European monarchies, Spain, Portugal, England, France, all of these countries today is going through some pain and sorrow. Religious expansion, spreading Christianity to newly discovered lands. Okay. Okay, so when they spread this so-called Christianity, was it nicely done? Was it nicely spread? Did they go and they say, hey, listen, we're going to give you this and you give us that. It's all good. We'll be back. No. They came in by force, by hook or crook, and forced us to reason out the Jeebus of white. And then they go on to say technological advancements in navigation, such as the compass, the Astrolab FUI enabled longer, safer ocean voyages. BS. They stole all that, hijacked the sailors, the navigators of the sea, and then they went across all over the world through the waterways, highs and lows, to steal, kill, and destroy. That's that piece of it. So that was their age of discovery. They were able to go out, via Columbus and obtain what they wanted at the cost of those that they found. Okay. So then I said, during the age of discovery, were the colonizers nice? Because see, what was the purpose? The purpose was for them to steal, kill, and destroy. That's all that said. They want to, spice it up with, some sort of niceties, talking about, oh, we loved everybody and came with our Christianity. We just want a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver. You know what I mean? We just needed, we got confused and, found ourselves here. We just want another trade route to Asia. Well, why ain't you go east? Because we already know the prophecy. That's why age of discovery, we'll get to it, then was a vice. So I said, during the age of discovery, were the colonizers nice? During the age of discovery, European colonizers were generally not nice to so-called indigenous populations, engaging in widespread exploitation, Epstein, violence, and forced labor to extract resources and convert natives to Christianity. There's that damn Christianity again. Wait a minute. Why is it always converting something to Christianity? Oh, because the church made it so. These voyages were done by the church, right? The king and the queen, they had to get authority by the church, who paid for the whole ordeal. They want to say, oh, the Jewish people pay for it. The Jewish people had their hand in it indeed, but they ain't pay for it. It was the church. Because here it is, again, this Christian insanity. The era was defined by brutal conquests, the destruction of indigenous cultures, and the introduction of disease that decimated local populations. Hold on. It said on the other with the other question, it said, where is it? Indigenous people, monarchs of Spain, Asia, improved economies. Expansion. Oh, wait. Oh, my bad. Generally not nice to indigenous populations. So, yet they went on a destructive, brutal conquest to destroy indigenous cultures and the introduction of disease that decimated local populations. So they were not nice. And so that age of discovery, when they discovered us, they weren't nice. They were dysfunctional, mentally ill, stricken with madness. if you will. So then when we bring it to today, we now get to go through an age of discovery. We get to say to ourselves, wait a minute, let us discover, let us study to show ourselves approved, let us reason matters out, let us discover who we are again. So in our age of discovery, we're not the ones that are putting them to shame. We're not the ones that are, making them feel sad and putting them in pain. It's not us. It's the Most High. Because just like the Most High, during their age of discovery, allowed them to destroy the indigenous populations, including us. Because, that's how they oversimplify things. Oh, indigenous population. Indigenous populations. But who were these indigenous populations? They were just indigenous. Don't worry about that. They ain't gonna say the 10 tribes. Oh, well, we went on a hell-bent raid to destroy the 10 tribes of Yashar'El so we can steal everything and kill everyone so that we can own it all. I ain't gonna tell you that. That's not the story. That's not the narrative. The narrative is, hey, they came bringing Jebus of the whites to the indigenous population. Yeah, some of them didn't like it. They fight. We had to kill them. Yeah, the women didn't want to be with us. We had to rape them. Yeah, we couldn't really till the land ourselves rightly because we didn't really know, so we had to make them slaves. And yes, it was a little tough on them, but we gave them some bread and a little bit of water. So the narratives have changed. The age of discovery has changed. Now we're on top. Now we're discovering who we are, not who they think we are or want us to be. And that's the joy and peace that we have today, watching them fall. This is the salvation. The salvation has always been about us, about y'all, the Mishpachah. We had to build. We had to discover ourselves. Coming back to remembrance, ultimately is discovering. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Let me discover further. So our age of discovery has increased in such a way that we don't have to chin check these fools. We ain't got to be out in the street, trying to protest. We don't have to be concerned ourselves with what they got going on, what they talking about. We ain't got to do all that. All we got to do is what our Father tells us to do, and that's to rest. For these are the days of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So if you find yourself sealed as Jacob at this day, you need to continue to discover your way. If you don't, it's okay. That's your problem and your business. Because over here in my house, we discover the Most High. We live for the Most High. We work for the Most High. We love the Most High, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No mistakes about it. No idolatry in it. We don't care about Jebus, the white god, the African Dagon god, the Asian Buddhist god, the Pakistani Indian Hindu Shiva god, all of the other Krishna gods. We don't care about your little gods. Who, mind you, where they at? Are they around back? They gonna come out yet? They gonna talk to you? They gonna tell you what to do? I doubt it. But I will say this, that our Elohim espouses to us daily, nightly, of what to do. We know what not to do. He's shown us that. Our folly was that. That's what we went through. We don't have to continue to rehash the evils that our men and women did do. We don't have to do that. What we have to do now is hear our Father's voice as he tells us to listen to our mother and follow our brother. Everything else, everyone else can kick rocks. We're not over here scared, some spookism of magic. Oh God, he did his magic. We are again a marvelous, magical people. We are strong in virtue. When we do this as a collective, can't no man, European, African, Asian, bring us down. That's the glory of our sanctification. The Christians over here talking about, oh, well, Jesus is prophecy of the end. Well, Yahweh Shai said, yeah, when you start hearing rumors of wars and earthquakes in diverse places, sure. But there's a lot more. What about the people? The people come back into their age of discovery. They come back into their covenant. They come back under the law, statutes, and commandments. They come back in order to their Elohim, with their Elohim, by their Elohim, on their Elohim. That's why everybody out here still living a dream of all dreams, trying to make themselves seem bigger than they are, more than they are, righteouser more than they are, when they ain't nothing. When they're being led to and fro, led astray, in mental illness all the way to this day. I mean, their age of discovery was brutal. You must realize that is a traumatic experience, not just for us, but for them, because they had to make what they were doing right. That is a mental illness that is just out of sight, out of mind. And now this whole time that has festered, bubbled, conjoined to the top, literally to their top. Look at their boy T Rump. T Rump shatting on himself, Putin and farting. Fools looking at him like, we voted for this nigga? People question him. He in delusion. He talking about, I need a new West Wing. Shoot. I'm going to put my wife on TV. I'm going to make her a movie star. She's a hoe. She's a hoe. Everybody know. It's not a secret. There's no more secret combinations. We know their intent. The mind is playing tricks on them. And all these people out here who voted for him, they like, oh my God, don't tell nobody I voted for him. Don't tell. Shh. Keep it a secret. Keep it a secret. Keep it a secret. Don't tell them don't tell nobody I voted for that dude. They disowning them. They having their Peter moment, like the father at the end of their age of discovery. They're going to discover that they have been lied to. We've already discovered it. Now we're discovering who you and me and you are, as it relates and correlates to the proximity of our Father and our righteous stars, if you will. And our age of discovery has just began. Look at us. We're rolling. Picture me rolling. Yes. We are rich. Now that wealth that we have is worth more than silver and gold. They can't buy our souls, considering they ain't got no soul anyway, no spirit, no soul. But they will be brought back to remembrance, and it'll come back in like a thief in the night, cutting them. Their visions and their dreams will be at night and day, and they'll be struggling to stay afloat when they got all the money in the world, and they still will think they broke because they are not rich. All these celebrities dying with millions, billions, whatever. People dropping like flies. They think they gonna survive because they got money? Please. Thou art rich. Even in death, we still are rich. Even in death, we still are alive. They are dead. And that's why the idolatry of the heathen and the mystery of their iniquity is coming to a head. We know too much, way too much, to turn back now. Now it's about soul searching, discovering, taking heed, loving thyself, loving thy brother, loving thy sister, loving thy Elohim, loving our ancestors. Because now that we know who we are, we like, yo, we are people. See, the other nations don't understand it because they've always been something. Now they're realizing at the end of their age of discovery that they were nothing. And we were something. Always has been, always will. That's our joy. That's our beauty still. Because our salvation is all that matters at this time. People are going to find themselves in such a way that they're going to look for us, and we're going to just look away like, I don't know you. I can't help you. Well, you know what? I mean, I'll help you, but no, that's not the Father's will. Did they? Because see, everything is coming full circle. The circle of the cycle is almost complete. Their end of their age discovery is nigh. Their last discovery, like I said, is them discovering that we are alive and not dead. The 12 tribes of Yashar'El is here. Always has been. Always will be. And they're going to try to find a way to cleave without being in order. And they're going to be cast out. Some are going to cleave. And they're going to be okay at the bottom. After much of their people decay away, rot and decay away. From dust, you became dust, you will go back. That's the live by the sword, die by the sword. This is the age of their discovery. This is why we ask for judgment, because we can feel it. It's coming. And we want to be on the right side of justice. And nobody's going to be with us except for those that have been chosen to be. And you can look like me, but that don't matter. It's all about your spirit, your spirituality, how you conduct yourself, your character, how you treat one another, how you understand, how you can reason a matter out. These things that these people got going on because of their age of discovery, because again, they discovered everything. They can't be ancient if they discovered everything. Oh, we're going through our age of discovery, but we ancient. What? That don't even make any sense. That's not logical. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. The United Negro Fund. And now we're done. They're done. We're done with them, and they're done with themselves. But there's still some more to go for them. More for us. Us on the uptick, them on the downswing. And this will be in our lifetime. That's why the Father is showing and exposing all these Epstein madnesses of mental illness. How they love to sacrifice, Baal worship their children. And they want to act like, oh, well, the Israelites were bad people because they sacrificed their own kids. Okay, that was then. This is now. You doing it now. Oh, well, you're not an Israelite. Well, cycles, that's right. Now you fall because you turned around and act like you wanted to you wanted to have a Saul and be Paul. Now you got it. Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha. So now you go into your fall. It's simple. You go into your fall. But because you were not us at all, you're not going to get the redemption and salvation, restoration, reparation that comes to my people. You'll be able to look at that from afar, from the bottom, from the bottomless pit. And rightfully so. And I'm not going to belabor the point because we already know that this is our turn to rule and rule righteously in our age of discovery. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Much love, much respect. Shalom.